So in this episode I will show you two survival tools that are not that common that could help in an urban situation. This one is specifically developed, this is the Pry-X by Paratech, specifically developed for saving people out of cars. So it's a car entry tool, and this tool is the Stanley fatmax Fubar 2, as you can see here. Is specifically developed as a racking tool, also holding, as you can see, wood pillars. Also has a pry function, as you can see here, for removing all kinds of stuff, especially nails, of course, as you can see here. And it can also be put on your belt like this one, but I don't have the carrier for the fatmax. This is approximately 1.3 kilograms, so still not that hefty. This is approximately 1.6 kilograms, so a little bit more hefty. And the size is quite similar, as you can see. But this one can be made 10 centimeters longer, which I will show you in a bit. So what kind of size are we talking about? If you look at the Pry-X, within its casing, it's about 20 centimeters wide, whereas the Fubar is about 12 centimeters wide. If you look at the length, Pryaxe in its casing is approximately 38 centimeters in its casing, and Fubar is approximately the same, a little bit longer. And as mentioned, I can also open up this Pryaxe, so this clip helps you to get the spike out, and then you get access to it. So this is the casing, and then you see the Pryaxe naked next to the Fubar. Also the sizes, again, 37-ish centimeters. But as mentioned before, Pry-X can be extended, and I will show you that now. You just press this button here and then pull on this. So the button has been pushed, and now it's pulled out. As you can see, you get an additional 10 centimeters in range now on the Pry-X, which is now approximately 47 centimeters long, so 9 centimeters longer than this one. So this does not have the functionality for removing nails, as you can see here. It does have a prying part. It's also sloped, as you can see. I'll show you a little bit closer. This has a nice slope. Whereas the Fubar is also nicely sloped, but a little bit less thick. This is a really thick approach that the Pry-X has, and it also carries, of course, additional weight. The ergonomics are better on this Fubar because it's thicker, and this is just like an additional part of it almost looks like a fire hose around it. And this spike from the Pryxe is used for penetration, so for example windows or steel penetration. Also the X is not that sharp, the X head, but it's especially developed for penetrating of steel plates, for example car roof. You have some things that they can use for fire department, and also a part that can be used to cut the fasteners in the vehicle, but perhaps also to cut through a little bit of steel. But the real steel cutter is on this side. So this tooth in collaboration with this can be used in a racking motion. So once it's penetrated here or cut by this X head, this piece goes in, and then you, with a wriggling motion, especially with the additional leverage, you can open up even steel. This one is specifically developed for opening wood. It's also a hammer with a nice hammerhead, which a Pry-X does not have. I can also take this protection off. So now you also see the Fubar without the protection. So there's small protective cases there that you don't rip unnecessarily parts when you are carrying it. There's a very nice curved prying area, which is also quite solid. So you can hammer with this side, you can grab with this side, and you can pry and also pry nails with that end. Even this end can help a little bit in prying, but it's not that wide, which the Pry-X could have. And why is that? Because this part could also be used as a prying. And how can this be done then? Because yeah, it's normally more for cutting. I will show you. If you press this button again, so here we had a button to elongate it, so you can press this button again, then you can shove it back in, so it comes back here, the button. Or you can take it out, and I will show you the ladder. So now it's taken out, as you can see here, and you can put it in there as well, and then use it as a pry. So for example, if this is stuck between a car door, you could put some motion on this and this leverage to help widen the gap, so to say. That's a big benefit as well. And that shows you what you could have here. So why could this also be a shit hit the fan survival tool? Now, for example, if you see an accident and you can help people survive that accident, that's a big plus, of course. And these two tools are both able to rack, or this is more the racking bar and this is more the access bar, but they both are able to just compromise things that need to be compromised so that you can get in or out. So that's the benefit. Also, they're both quite portable. Of course, this one was once used for emergency situations, and it is very compact, but they have a lot better forms for that. Hydraulic presses, for example, or hydraulic scissors and the likes, and spreaders, which are far superior and also far faster, etc., but also weigh a lot more. So for a survival situation, you want something that is easy to carry and also not that big and bulky and heavy. So we'll now shove this one back in. As you can see here, you compress this button, and then I will show you the end result again. So the first step is now that you have again the extended version of the Pry-X, and with an additional push here you can collapse it even further to the compact measurements that we love to have. The same with the Fubar. Now it's again a lot safer, but still you have this thing to worry about, but the same like this. You can of course get some fabric and rip it apart with both. This is a lot less sharp than this one is. So just at a glimpse, also showing you it again in the state that you can carry it. So you just, it's hard to do with one hand, but you just slide in the X, as you see here. You open the leather casing and compress the button and you're good to go. Benefit of this is that you can put it on your belt. It has a belt loop, so for example you could put it like that and then carry this Pry-X. A similar approach can be done with the Fubar, of course, which is light to begin with, as I mentioned at the beginning, but then you need the Fubar carrier, which I don't have, so I cannot show you. I can show you it on the picture as depicted there. It's on the belt, as you can see, and yeah, just therefore try to zoom in a little bit more for you. There you go. So as you can see, it's easy to deploy as well with that system in place, but I don't have it. So normally in the survival situation, one would look at a survival axe or something like that. But I think in an urban setting, this is at least as capable. It's not so much as a normal survival axe, but you can still use it to yeah, cut some wood if needed, with a little bit different, I think, different edge on it. But also work your way through steel and other things. And this is the same. This is a one-piece steel construction, which is very strong, of course. This is also hardened steel and then galvanized in a way to keep it good for a longer period of time. Both are excellent tools, and I think for the weight of one sledgehammer, you could have both of these tools, which are also a lot more compact and easier to carry, and could be spread when you are surviving, or the shit hits the fan and you're with multiple persons. It's easier to balance off the weight, I can imagine. And if you had to pick one, if it would be pure racking, I would go for that one. It would be the entry, of course, the dedicated tool for that. Horses for courses. But the benefit of this one is that you can also even take out the other piece and divide the weight a little bit more, even though it's heavier, as I mentioned. Other benefit is that I already have the carrier for this one and I don't have it for that one. But still, this has more sharp points at this side that are not covered off. Whereas this one, only has that side to worry about. So I think both are champions, and I think they could also supplement each other, because this has an X head, which this doesn't. It does have a pick. This doesn't. This has a very good grappling end, which is not there. That you have something to in a mouth to, for example, twist a beam, and also a hammerhead, which is not present there as well. Both have pry ends. This has a better dedicated pry, but this is also a capable cutter. So yeah, depends on what you want. This is like a tin can opener on steroids, so to say. You can see here the teeth to cut in there, the leverage to help it get through. And there again the head where it goes through. So back at it again, if you want to know this one, it's a fatmax. I will show you a little bit closer. Fatmax of Stanley, Fubar 2, which is the smaller one. And this one, if you want to know the Pryxe, is the Paratech 017135 Pry-X. And about this Pry-X is an older version. You can still buy this Fubar at the shops now. It's the same model. Also, they had quite some evolutions already. There's a bigger one and also other smaller ones, and a very big one dedicated for fire departments. And this one is already preceded by another version that has a shaft that can be extended a little bit more, so that's a benefit. It's also round, so you can put it in there easier. It's a more heavier duty version of this original Pry-X, but also a little bit heavier. So it's about double the weight, and if you take that into consideration for a dedicated emergency tool, of course that other one is better, because at the same compact size you get a heavier working tool. But if weight is also an issue and you have to carry it, perhaps this old one might not be so unwise. Have a great day all. Bye bye.